Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about a woman with no friends. Not as a symbol of weakness, nor as a subject of pity, but as a reflection of strength, resilience, and a reality many silently face. There is a common misconception in society that being alone means being lonely, especially when it comes to women. From a young age, women are often taught that their worth is linked to their relationships, how many friends they have, how well they fit in, how socially accepted they are. So when a woman walks alone, when she isn't constantly surrounded by a group, people begin to assume that something must be wrong. She must be lonely. She must be unhappy. But that assumption couldn't be further from the truth. Solitude and loneliness are not the same. Loneliness is a feeling of being disconnected, even in a room full of people. It is the ache of not being understood, not being seen, or not being truly valued. Solitude, on the other hand, is a conscious choice, a space of calm, of reflection, of self-connection. It is the ability to sit in silence and not feel empty. It is walking through life without the constant need for validation or approval from others. A woman who embraces solitude often does so because she has learned the value of her own company. She knows that peace is not something found in the noise of others, but in the stillness within herself. She is not lonely, she is focused. She is not excluded, she is intentional. Her alone time becomes her reset button, her sanctuary, her place to heal, dream, and think freely. And in that solitude, she may discover things that are harder to find in a crowd: clarity, confidence, and the freedom to truly be herself without compromise. She doesn't fill her time just to stay distracted. She uses it to grow, to observe, to realign with her values. While others may chase constant interaction to avoid the discomfort of silence, she welcomes it, because in that silence she finds strength. To mistake her solitude for sadness is to misunderstand her entirely. She may not have a crowd around her, but she has something far more powerful: self-awareness, peace of mind, and a life that is not built around pleasing others, but around honoring herself. In a world that often rewards surface-level charm and social popularity, it can be easy to assume that having many friends is a sign of happiness, while having few or none is a sign of deficiency. But for some women, particularly those who've been through betrayal, manipulation, or constant emotional exhaustion, the decision to step back from certain relationships is not a failure, it's an act of self-respect. A woman with no friends may not be friendless by accident. She may be selective, not because she thinks she's better than others, but because she's learned, often through painful experiences, that not everyone deserves access to her world. Being selective is a form of wisdom, not arrogance. It's the result of lessons that taught her how costly it can be to surround yourself with the wrong people. She may have once been the kind of woman who gave endlessly, her time, her energy, her trust. She might have shown up for people who never showed up for her, kept secrets for people who gossiped about her, or supported friends who disappeared when she needed them most. And so she learned that not every smiling face is a true friend. She learned that being liked by everyone often means losing pieces of herself. She realized that she had to choose herself, even if that meant walking away from people who couldn't treat her with the same love and loyalty she offered them. Being selective also means she no longer entertains half-hearted friendships, where the connection is based more on convenience than care. She no longer tries to force conversations, fit into cliques, or pretend to enjoy relationships that feel shallow or one-sided. She has realized that peace is more important than popularity, that honesty is more valuable than approval. Her selectiveness is also a reflection of her growth. She may have redefined what friendship means to her, no longer interested in people who only show up for fun, but those who show up with depth, consistency, and sincerity. And until she finds those rare connections, she's content being alone. To many, her circle may look empty, but in truth, it's just not crowded, because she knows it's better to walk alone with integrity than to stand in a crowd that doesn't truly see or support her. Her selectiveness is not a wall, it's a filter, a way to protect the space she's finally learned to value. Her mind, her heart, and her energy. In a society where numbers often seem to define worth, how many likes you get, how many followers you have, how many people you can call your friends. It's easy to forget that more isn't always better. For a woman who appears to have no friends, the truth may not be that she has none, but that she has chosen quality over quantity. A conscious, empowered decision to prioritize real, meaningful connections over social clutter. She may have once had a crowd around her. She may have been the life of the party, the one whose phone never stopped ringing, whose calendar was always full. But over time, she may have realized that being surrounded by people isn't the same as being truly connected to them. She might have felt emotionally alone, even in groups, as if she was constantly performing pantomime, pretending to be fine, pretending to fit in, pretending that surface-level banter was enough to sustain her soul. So she stopped pretending. She began to strip away the noise. She started asking herself difficult but necessary questions. Who actually knows me? Who supports me without conditions? Who listens, truly listens when I speak? And when the answers were few or even none, she began to let go. Letting go didn't mean failure. It meant clarity. It meant that she no longer needed dozens of people around her just to feel seen. She no longer needed the illusion of friendship to avoid feeling alone. What she needed and now seeks is depth. Someone who remembers the little things. Someone who shows up when it's inconvenient. Someone who celebrates her quietly, not just publicly. Those kinds of relationships don't come in bulk. They are rare, slow-forming, and rooted in mutual understanding. Choosing quality also means she's willing to go without for a while. She's patient enough to wait for authentic friendships rather than forcing connections just to fill a void. She understands that it's better to sit in silence with someone who gets her than laugh loudly with people who don't really care. She's not interested in being liked by everyone. She's interested in being loved by the right few. This mindset shift is powerful. It's what turns loneliness into intentional solitude. It's what transforms isolation into discernment. And it's what allows her to build a life surrounded eventually by people who matter, people who add value, and people who align with who she truly is, not who she's expected to be. Her world may be quieter now, but it's richer, because she knows something many still have to learn, that 10 shallow connections can't compare to one person who truly understands your soul. And for that kind of connection, she's willing to wait, protect her energy, and choose with care. There is a unique kind of strength that often goes unnoticed. The strength of a woman who walks alone, not because she has no other option, but because she chooses to. This strength is frequently misread, misunderstood, even misjudged. Society is quick to label her as cold, difficult, antisocial, or bitter, when in truth, she may be one of the strongest individuals you'll ever